Hello students, in this lecture series we have been discussing about the cost accounting, and in the subject of cost accounting today's lecture I will be talking about service costing or operating costing. And in the service costing my focus will be on transport costing. So now question arises here, what is service costing? Now you see here, service costing is a method of costing applied to undertakings which provide service rather than production of commodities. What does it mean? See students, CIMA London defines service costing the cost of providing a service. Okay? Service costing or operating costing both are same. That means operating costing is also called service costing. That means operating costing or service costing is a method of costing applied to ascertain the cost of providing or operating a service. So thus, the field of its application covers the undertakings which do not manufacture any article or goods but provide or operate services. Example: transport companies, electricity companies, canteens, hospitals, hotels, etc. These are the examples. Okay? A manufacturing company may maintain service departments like transport department, powerhouse, canteen, hospitals, etc. to provide services to the manufacturing, sales and welfare activities of the concern. The operating costing may also be applied in these service departments to ascertain the unit service cost. Okay? The operating costing must be clearly distinguished from operation costing, which indicates a technique of costing with a view to ascertaining the total and unit cost of each operation. The operating costing is therefore applied in manufacturing undertakings where the final product is obtained after a number of successive operations. Okay? Now you see here, I hope you understand the meaning of service costing or operating costing. Now next you see here the types of services. Okay? Types of services given: transport services, supply services, welfare services, municipal services. Okay? Transport services, examples like railway, bus transport, air transport, lorry, goods train, etc. Supply services, examples like gas supply, electricity supply, water supply. Okay, Then welfare services, examples like hospitals, canteens, hotel accommodation, libraries. Okay. Then number 4, municipal service, examples street lighting, road maintenance, etc. So these are the different types of services. Okay. Now next point. See here, left side given services and right side given cost units, because in this topic, that is today's lecture, that is about service costing, I am explaining here theory, plus also I will show you one practical related to service costing. So for that you have to understand this point also. Okay. So here one side is services and other side is cost units. Now you see students, selection of cost units where operating costing is applied requires careful consideration, because cost unit will be different for different types of services. The following are some of the cost units selected for different types of services. Number 1, passenger transport service, example like bus, tram, passenger train, air transport, etc. For this, cost unit is passenger kilometer. Okay. Similarly, goods transport service, example like lorry, goods train, air transport of goods, etc. Here cost unit will be ton kilometer or quintal kilometer. Remember these cost units of the different services. Then private transport, example like private car, private aeroplane, etc. So for this, cost units running hour or trip or kilometer. Okay. So this is about the services related to cost units. So students, here I am talking about transport costing. Okay. Because in your syllabus only transport related given. Okay. So I am talking about transport costing. See students, in case of a motor transport company, operating cost of each vehicle is to be determined, and then it should be applied to find out the cost per unit of service rendered by it. The units of cost are chosen according to the needs of the concern and after taking into consideration the weight, the bulk, types of goods carried, distance covered by each trip, etc. The units commonly in use are hours of running, hour cost of carrying a ton or ton you can say, then cost of running a kilometer, okay, then a quintal kilometer, ton kilometer. These are the costs are ascertained as cost per running hour. Okay. So ton kilometer and quintal kilometer represent the units where both weight of the load and distance have been given due consideration. Okay. So this is about the services and cost units. The next point I will show you here. Okay. Now see the students, classification of cost. This is also related to the practical and try to understand. Okay. Very important point. See students, the preparation of operating cost sheet. For preparing an operating cost sheet, cost of the undertaken, or you can say the cost of the undertaking, providing services are to be classified into fixed or standing charges, maintenance or semi-variable charges, or operating or variable or running cost. Okay, so now you have to understand what is meant by fixed or standing charges. So these costs incur whether or not vehicle operates, whether your vehicle is running or not, but this cost is fixed. Example like insurance premium, taxes, rent, wages, etc. So these are the examples of fixed or standing charges. Next charges, that is the maintenance or semi-variable. That is partly fixed and partly variable. Okay, both are mixed here. That is called maintenance or semi-variable. Example like repair, maintenance, tires and tubes, overhauling, etc. So these are the examples of maintenance or semi-variable. Then another point here given, operating or variable or running cost. What does it mean? So this cost incurs only when vehicle operates. That means when your vehicle run, okay, then this cost will incur. Okay, this cost will incur. Example like depreciation, petrol, oil, grease, etc. Okay, so these are the three cost or charges. Okay, so this is related to the practical. Now I am going to show you one practical related to service costing or operating costing, and try to understand. Okay, now you see here. First of all, see what is given here. Prepare appropriate cost sheet. You have to prepare one cost sheet related to service costing or operating costing. So prepare appropriate cost sheet to determine what you have to find out. The unit cost. Already I have shown you unit cost. The unit cost per passenger kilometer. See here, per passenger kilometer. Passenger kilometer here given for the year 2020 to 21 for a fleet of 5 passenger buses. That means here total number of buses 5. Booked by transport company whose cost are 50,000, 1,20,000, 45,000, 55,000 and rupees 80,000 respectively. That means there are total 5 buses and each buses cost here 50,000, 1,20,000, 45,000, 55,000 and 80,000. Now if you add all this cost, then this is also called cost of the buses or capital. Okay, after that you see what is given here. Depreciation and cost 20%. That means this 20% you have to calculate it. You have to calculate on cost. So for this you have to check what will be the total cost for each. Now you see for each buses the cost given here. So all the cost you have to add together, that you will get total cost. And from the total cost you have to calculate depreciation, that is 20%. Okay. Now there is given repairs and maintenance 80% of depreciation. Whatever the value you will get of depreciation, from this the value of depreciation you have to calculate 80%. That will be repairs and maintenance. Then wages of 10 drivers given. Okay, so there are total number of drivers 10 and the wages given is like that, rupees 100 each per month. That means what will be the total cost of these wages? That means 10 drivers and each driver getting 100 rupees. That means 10 into 100 and per month, right? That means multiply by 12. Then you will get the wages of 10 drivers. Similarly, the wages of 20 cleaners given here. The total number of cleaners 20 and that is rupees here 50 each per month. That means each cleaner giving wages 50 rupees, right? So 20 into 50 per month, so into 12. Similarly, yearly rate of interest 4% on capital. Now what is the capital? The capital will be this one. the cost of each bus is given here, no? 50,000, 1,20,000, 45,000, 55,000 and 80,000. If you add all these, that will be that capital. Okay. Now, next point is rent of 6 garages. The number of garages here 6, and the rent here is rupees 50 each per month. That means 6 garages, each garage 50 rupees. So 6 into 50 and per month into 12. Similarly, then director's fee given rupees 400 per month, so 400 into 12. Then office establishment given 1000 per month, so 1000 into 12. License and taxes given here rupees 1000 every 6 months. That means in 1 year 2 times. Here it is paying for license and taxes. That is 1000. That means 1000 into 2, because 2 times in a year you are paying this license and taxes. Now next point is sale of old tires and tubes. So some old tires and tubes that you sold, that is for rupees 3,200 every 6 months. That means 2 times you sold these old tires and tubes in a year. That means 3,200 will be multiplied by 2. Okay. Now after that, what is given here? 900 passengers were carried over 1,600 kilometers during the year. That means in whole year, total kilometers travel, that is 1,600, and total number of passengers traveled in year, that is 900 passengers. So here passengers and kilometers given. So this 900 and 1,600 you have to multiply together. Okay. So now I am going to show you the solution. Okay. So students, you see the solution. Already you have seen the question. So try to understand. First you calculate the cost of buses. Okay. The cost of buses already given. There are total 5 buses. So each bus's cost here given, like 50,000 rupees, 1,20,000, 45,000, 55,000 and 80,000. If you add all these, then you will get the total cost of buses 3,50,000, and this is also called capital. Okay, so first you have to calculate this one. After this, you see here in the question given yearly depreciation given, right? That you have to calculate 20% of cost. The 20% of cost, the cost is how much? 3,50,000. So 20% of 3,50,000 if you calculate, you will get 70,000 yearly depreciation. After that, in the question given yearly repairs, right? So in the question regarding repairs, the repair and maintenance, 80% of depreciation given, right? So yearly repairs, 80% of depreciation. So 80% of depreciation, how much we got? 70,000. So 70,000, 80% of 70,000 if you calculate, then 56,000 you will get. Okay. Now you have to draw the format. See, operating cost sheet, or you can write servicing cost sheet for the year, that is 2000. Instead of 2009 to 10, you have to write 2020 to 21, because in the question given 2020 to 21, right? Now you have to draw the format. It is very simple. You have to write here particulars, then you have to write here amount. Okay. Already I told you the classification of cost. There are 3 types of cost or charges. One is called standing charges or fixed charges, another is called maintenance charges, and another one is called operating charges. Okay, already I explained about standing charges, maintenance charges and operating charges, and also related examples, right? The first you have to write here standing charges. Standing charges will be the wages. There are 2 types of wages given. One is wages of drivers and another one is wages of cleaners. Now there are total 10 drivers, so 10 driver, and each driver getting wages 100 rupees, and per month multiply by 12. If you multiply all these, you will get 12,000. Similarly, wages of cleaners, there are total number of cleaners 20, and each cleaner getting wages that is 50 rupees, and per month getting, so it will be yearly you have to calculate, that means 12 month, right? So if you multiply all these, then 12,000 you will get. Now you add this one, 12,000 plus 12,000, 24,000, outer column you write. Next, interest on capital. that is in the question given, interest on capital, that is 4%. The 4% on capital, the capital how much? That is the cost of buses, 3,50,000. Okay, now you see here, that is 4% means 4 by 100, right? 4 by 100 into what? 3,50,000. 3,50,000, right? So 4% means 0, 0, and 0 cancel. So 4 5s are 20, 2 remainder, 4 is 12, 13, 14. So see here, 14,000 we got it, right? Then director's fee per month getting, so 400 rupees multiply by 12, you will get, that is 4,800 rupees. Similarly, office establishment 1,000 rupees per month, so 1,000 into 12, then you will get 12,000 rupees. Similarly, license and taxes, it is paying 6 months, right? Every 6 months. So in 1 year 2 times paid, right? So 1,000 into 2, that will be 2,000 rupees. Then garage rent, there are 6 numbers of garages. So 6 garages, and each garage rent 50 rupees, and per month, so it is multiplied by 12. So 6 into 50 into 12, if you multiply, 3,600. So up to this much is standing charges. Up to this much all are standing charges. So now you add all these, then total you will get 60,400. Okay. After that, maintenance charges. Now you see maintenance charges here will be repairs, spare parts, etc. The repairs, parts, etc. value given 56,000, but in the question given, that is sale of old tires and tubes, rupees 3,200 every 6 months, right? So the cost incurred here for repairs, spare parts, etc. 56,000. Out of 56,000, you recovered how much amount? That is 3,200, and every 6 months, so that means in 1 year 2 times, right? So 3,200 into 2, so this much amount you recovered. That's why this will be subtract. Okay, this much cost incurred, out of this 6,400 you recovered. Okay, so if you minus this one, the 49,600 you will get. Okay, next is operating charges. So here only one depreciation given, and depreciation already we have calculated here, right? See, 70,000, right? So depreciation here 70,000. Now what you have to do, you have to add all these cost, means standing charges total cost you have to add 60,400 rupees, right? Then maintenance charges total 49,600, this one also you have to add. Then operating charges 70,000. So that means point number A, point number B, point number C, these 3 you have to add together. So you have to write here point number D, grand total A plus B plus C. If you add all these, then you will get 1,80,000 rupees. Now you have to calculate passenger kilometers carried. Now you see, passenger kilometers carried, it is given like that in the question, 900 passengers. The total number of passengers during the years were carried 900, right? And total 1,600 kilometers traveled in 1 year. So passenger and kilometer you have to multiply together, then you will get this much. Okay, 144 and 4 zeros, right? 14,40,000 rupees. Now finally you have to calculate cost per passenger kilometer. How you will calculate this one? The total cost divided by this passenger kilometer, 14,40,000 rupees. If you divide these two, then you will get cost per passenger kilometer 0.125. Okay, so this is very simple and very easy question, and service costing or operating costing also very easy chapter. Okay, so now this is unit number 4. In unit number 4, that is the methods of costing, there are different methods of costing. First is called unit or output costing, already we have done. Then job costing also we have done. Then after that contract costing also we have done. Then process costing also we have done, or joint and byproduct also we have done. After that the last point left, that was service costing, that also done today, right? So thus unit number 4 completed. Okay, so I hope everyone understand whatever I have explained here related to service costing. Okay, so thank you for today.